Okay, so looking at some from the review. Start with number 4. Goodness, B's and A's all over the place. I think let's clean up everything as best we can, and then we'll start messing with the top and the bottom. So I guess by that I mean let's clean up the top first. So that's 2a to the 4th b. Then we'll clean up the bottom, and then we'll look at top and bottom. 2 to the 4th. 2 to the 4th. 2, 4, 8, 16. A to the 4th. B to the negative 8. A cubed b squared. Well, I guess I should finish cleaning up the denominator. Some of you are going to start skipping steps. That's okay. Just be careful. Make sure you kept up with all the A's in there. Gosh, yeah, I'm going to skip steps. The 2 and the 16 would make an 8 in the bottom. A to the 4th and the A to the 4th, those would cancel out. That does leave an A cubed down there, though. And then let's see if we can keep track of all these B's. Okay, I've already heard like 3 different answers from 2 people, so...
B7.
B7 on top. I like that.
Yeah.
You good with that? Ellen, you said B7 on top. How did you get there? How did you arrive at B7 on top?
I took the B negative 8 and B2 together on bottom, and then brought it to the top with the B on top.
Okay, so she combined the 2 in the bottom to make B negative 6, moved it up to the top to get to 7. Anybody else do that slightly differently? Like just visually how you... Because I saw it and I put the 8 in the top first, made 9 of them, and then minus 2 made 7 of them. Either way, B to the 7th in the top. I suppose you could have jumped all the way from there to there, but that's a lot of steps without writing anything down, so that gets to be kind of dangerous. 5, 6, or 7? 7. 7 it is. Okay. So it's sort of a choice on 7 as well. We could flip the negatives first, or we could distribute first. It's not really going to matter. You want to flip the negatives first? Okay. Then it seems like it might be easier to work with. So flip all the negatives first. You don't have to do it this way, but that's one way to do it. And then when I distribute, so that first term will have y to the 5th in the top and an x in the top. And nothing in the bottom. Those x's cancel. The next term would be minus 2. X's cancel. And y, am I doing something wrong? You guys are...
Wouldn't the first one be x squared? Because the square on that x.
That's squared, but when I distribute the over x to it, one of those x's cancel, and I'm left with x in the top. And then on the second term, the x's cancel, like the one in the top and the one in the bottom cancel, and that leaves me y cubed.
Would it be less? Oh, that's how it's supposed to be.
On the first term?
Yeah.
No, because y squared times y cubed
Yes.
is y fifth. And then lastly, let's see, plus the x's would make x cubed in the bottom, and the y's would reduce to y squared in the bottom, so it would look like that. Glad we did that one. Cooper, you would say you were going to distribute first? without fixing those things?
Mhm.
If we do that, I think that should be fine. So I'm going to do the same problem slightly different way. I'm not going to change any of the negative. I'm just going to distribute x to the negative 1, y squared. So all I have to do is add the exponents. So that would be xy to the 5th minus 2, x to the 1 and x to the negative 1 go away, y cubed, plus x to the negative 3, y to the negative 2, and then, yes, that turns into our same final answer. So either way, if you want to switch first because you think that's easier, fine. If you don't want to do that and you want to distribute first and then fix the negatives, also fine. Nicole?
How do you get x by the 5th if it's a negative 1?
How did the x's? Because we add the exponents. Yes? It's just the negatives start throwing people off. There's not one like 8 through 11 on the quiz, but there is on the test. So let's just go ahead and do one of these. How about number 9? What degree is that?
3.
And it says name it by name each polynomial by degree and number of terms. Oh, so if it's degree 3, what does that mean in terms of its name? It's cubic. And there are 2 terms, so that's a binomial. So that's a cubic binomial. Simplify, we want to do one of those. Those are pretty easy. Do I need to do one? They are easy, but you can do one to make sure. How about I do 14 real quick? Yes or no?
Yeah. No.
Throw something at you. Definitely not. Right? Because I have to foil that thing. I would get that, but I would also get not 26. 7 times 6 is 42, and 42 twice,
84
or something. 84xy plus 36x squared. So be careful with that. Everyone gets it when we're talking about it, but if you're just working on your own and trying to go fast, sometimes people mess those things up. Let's see, factor and solve. So let's do one of each, maybe? You got a factoring one you'd like to see? Maybe a 2-step deal, like 23, that's a cubic. That's fine.
Big number.
So let's do 23, and then when we do the solving one, we won't need to do a cubic.
23 should divide by 3.
I sure hope it divides by 3. Do you remember the 3 division trick? You ever learn this? If you add up the digits and they divide by 3, then that means the whole number divides by 3. Kind of a weird deal. 6 plus 4 plus 8 is 18. 18 divides by 3. That means that whole thing divides by 3.
216.
I think 216 would be correct. $216 is not great, but I'm guessing it's a perfect cube for the rest of this thing to work. Let's see, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27, 4 is 64, 5 is 125, that's about where I run out. 36 times 6 is 216. Okay. So you definitely want to be familiar with those perfect cubes, and I guess if you need to extend it by 1 or 2, you can figure them out if you need to. Okay, so this would be 6. What would we cube to get to a to the 6th? A squared. Yeah. Plus 1. And then we're also thinking about SOAP. Same, opposite, always positive. Square the first one. What do I get when I square 6a squared? 36a to the fourth. Multiply the two together. Square the last one. Oh, I was going to say if we were solving, it would be hard. We could solve the first part. We'd have plus or minus I stuff. And then you'd have to use the quadratic formula, and you'd be really weird because you'd be solving for a squared. We're not going to make you do that. It'd be a good bonus. Note to self. I don't know if it would work well or not. Okay, so there's your SOAP problem. Let's do a solve problem, but this time without SOAP. So let's not do 25 or 28 because those are SOAP problems. We just did a SOAP problem. 27. Yeah, that's a good one. Those two-step deals. What do I look for first? Greatest common factor. It doesn't have one. So x squared and x squared will make x to the fourth. 6 and 4. Oh, this is a good one. Kind of have an option here. So you want to factor that? Okay. So x plus 2, x minus 2. X squared minus 6. Okay, done with that problem?
No.
Why not? Solve. Make sure we solve. So I'll do the easy ones. X equals negative 2 and x equals 2. And what about x squared minus 6 equals 0? I need it or not?
Oh, no I.
No I, yeah. Move the 6 over. So definitely need the plus or minus, but you don't need the I. Because the 6 turned positive and you added it to the other side. Now, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned it, because if this had been x squared plus 6, then you would need an I. Quiz time. Let's do it.